One feature disappears, one design detail shifts, and suddenly the Pixel 11 Pro is telling a completely different story than anyone expected. Most people looked at these leaks and said, it's basically the same phone. They missed the point entirely. The first real images of the Pixel 11 Pro are here, and yes, at first glance, it looks familiar. The size sits around 6.3 inches. Google clearly isn't chasing screen real estate for the sake of it. The Pixel identity is intact. But look closer at the back, and something has changed. The camera bar is still there, but it's cleaner now. A unified glass strip flowing across the entire module, more refined, more intentional, less like a prototype decision and more like a design that's finally been resolved. Google isn't reinventing the Pixel, it's editing it. And that distinction matters more than it sounds. Because right alongside that cleaner look, something is gone. The thermometer sensor. Removed. And before you scroll past that, stop. Because this isn't just a design decision. It's a product philosophy decision. And it reveals exactly how Google is thinking about the Pixel 11 Pro. When the thermometer launched, it felt genuinely futuristic, measuring body temperature, surface heat, real-world data with your phone. That's the kind of feature that makes a launch keynote electric. But here's the honest question. How many times did you actually use it? Once? Twice? When you remembered it existed? This is one of tech's uncomfortable truths. Features that don't become habits don't survive. And Google, clearly looking at the usage data, made a call. Cut it. That's not a failure, that's discipline. Here's what makes this interesting though. Every component inside a phone competes for the same limited resources: space, power, and cost. Remove one thing and you create room for something else. Better cooling, a larger battery, improved camera hardware. And camera hardware is exactly where Pixel needs to move, because let's be direct, Pixel cameras have been consistently great, but they haven't taken a dramatic leap in recent generations. Users are noticing. The pressure is building. If removing the thermometer clears the path for a meaningful camera upgrade, that's a trade most people would make without hesitation. The question is whether Google actually makes that trade, or whether this is simply a cost-saving cut dressed up as intentional design. That uncertainty is what makes this leak worth paying attention to. Now, performance. The next generation Tensor chip is expected, and the rumors around it are genuinely promising. A shift to a more advanced manufacturing process, efficiency improvements that could finally address Pixel's two most persistent criticisms: heat and battery life, and whispers of a redesigned core configuration, fewer cores, smarter balance, built around real-world usage rather than benchmark numbers. That sounds compelling, but it also raises a fair question. Is this optimization or is it consolidation? Are we getting a leaner, smarter chip or a quieter spec sheet? Benchmarks will answer that. Until then, it's the most important unknown in this whole story. Two areas where Google cannot afford to get it wrong. Starting storage. In 2026, launching a Pro device at 128 gigabytes isn't a bold move, it's a liability. Competitors have already moved on. If Google doesn't follow, it will be the loudest criticism at launch, entirely avoidable. Still a question mark. Pricing is its own tightrope. Stay competitive and Pixel stays relevant. Push too high and you're suddenly being measured directly against Samsung and Apple, and that's a different conversation entirely. Google has been building real momentum with the Pixel lineup, but momentum only matters if it converts. This is the moment it needs to. Step back and look at what all of these changes point to together. A cleaner design, a removed sensor, efficiency-focused silicon, deliberate, focused decisions, not flashy ones. Google isn't trying to impress you at first glance with the Pixel 11 Pro. It's trying to earn your trust over months of actual use. The best upgrades here won't show up in spec sheets. They'll show up after a week, a month, a year, in a phone that just works better, runs cooler, and lasts longer. That's a harder story to tell, but if Google gets it right, it might be their smartest phone yet. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Would you rather keep a unique feature like the thermometer, even if you rarely use it, or trade it for real, meaningful improvements where it actually counts? Drop your answer in the comments. There's no clean right answer here, and I want to know where you stand. More leaks are coming, and when the chip and camera details start surfacing, this story could change completely. Stay tuned.